All right. Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. This morning, we're going to talk about what inspires you. What is it that inspires you? When you figure out what it is that inspires you, showing up in life the right way becomes a whole lot easier. And for a lot of people, I don't believe that that's the case. I don't believe that they actually really spend enough time figuring out what it is that truly inspires them, what it is that truly gets them out of bed in the morning and motivates them. And I wanted to talk about that this morning because I see a lot of people that have a lot more in the tank that they're not giving. And I believe that the reason for that is their inability to actually understand what it is that inspires them. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Happy Tuesday to you, man. I'm happy to be here with you guys this morning. It was a great morning. Kind of a strange morning, though. I woke up this morning, we had a couple of nice days. Like literally, it was like 70 degrees, almost springtime over the weekend. And this morning, there was snow flurries when I walked outside to get in my car to come to the office. So pretty crazy morning here in Pittsburgh, but happy to be here with you guys. And this morning, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is what inspires you? What is it that inspires you? You know, I think for so many people, man, this is one of the biggest misses, the biggest mistakes that people make is they don't actually spend enough time figuring out what it truly is that drives them, because most people believe that there is some amount of money, that there is some destination financially that is going to make them full, that when I have this or when I make that somehow, some way, that's going to change everything about how they feel. And the reality is, guys, that couldn't be more true. I'm not saying that money's not a factor. Anybody that knows me will tell you that I don't believe that. I do believe that money is a factor. I believe that, you know, financial goals are important, but I believe that the only way you will actually achieve true financial freedom and achieve the financial goals that you have that are significant goals, the only way that that will happen for you is to get clear on what it is that inspires you, what it is that you want to accomplish in your life, what means the most to you. When you figure out what that is, when you figure out what true inspiration looks like, you'll never have to seek for motivation ever again. Now, that doesn't mean that times won't get tough. That doesn't mean that you won't get tested. It doesn't mean that for a split second, you won't question everything that you're doing. I was just having that conversation with some people this morning about the fact that, you know, on my journey to where I am right now, far from where I want to be, but far from where I've been, there were so many times, man, that I got up from my desk at the end of a day and thought to myself, man, is this going to pay off? Is this going to be worth it? Should I quit? But what inspired me was bigger than that. What truly drove me to continue was much bigger than that. And I want to share it with you guys because I think that it's so important. And there's several things, but I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. For me, one of the things that drives me, which I've shared with you guys this morning, is my grandmother's belief in me. The woman never, ever, ever didn't believe in something that I talked to her about. That carries with me every single day. My parents and their sacrifice that put me in the situation to be able to create the life that I have. Watching my dad wake up at 4:30 in the morning to take me to deliver newspapers before he went for his 12-hour shift in the steel mill inspires me. Those things collectively led me to a point where I believe in my own life that my most important role is to be a role model to my children. And every time I've ever thought about quitting, I think about them and I think about what they would think and what I would want them to do and what advice I would give them in that situation when times get tough. And so those things, that is what inspires me. Being the example for my children, for my family, for those people that depend on me is one of the many things that inspires me. Taking it to the next level, what inspires me today to continue moving, to continue growing, to continue building is the things that I actually want to do with them. It's the experiences that I want to have with my wife, with my kids, with my parents, with the people that I work alongside every single day. The experiences, I can see it clearly. That's what inspires me. The ability for so many people in our company to hopefully earn life-changing income from the company that we've been able to build. That inspires me. Not for the money, but for what that money will do for them, for their children, for their grandchildren. So ask yourself this: what is it that inspires you? It's not what you think. I bet for 90-something% of you, it's not what you think. I've shared this recently, but I went through this exercise with my advisor. And at the beginning of the year, I was like, what do you want? And when I'm asked what I want, typically in business, typically in life, we start to think about how much money we want, how much we want to earn, what type of revenue we want to do, what type of profit that looks like. It's generally speaking a business question, right? But it's actually a life question. What do you want? Because when you figure out what that is, when you figure out what you're actually working towards, meaning what inspires you, you will have to seek for motivation a lot less often. But most people don't take the time to figure this out. And it's the biggest mistake you could ever make, because it's not about money, guys. It's about what you want to do with it. What do you want? Like, what do you really want? Why are you getting up every morning at whatever time you get up? Why are you doing it? What do you want to accomplish? What impact do you want to make? What legacy do you want to leave? What inspires you? What sets you on fire? I see so many people in this world, man, going to work at places they don't like with people that they despise to earn $1. What a shame. Versus living a life of inspiration, living a life of purpose, living a life using the gifts that God planted in you to the best of your ability. And when you figure out what that is, you don't need much motivation. Motivation is natural. I get asked all the time, how do you do all the things that you do? How do you juggle? How do you keep going? How do you, I don't have to think about that. I truly don't. I don't say that to try to, brag or boast about myself, but I just don't have to think about motivation. Like, I don't have to go get motivated somehow, because I'm crystal clear on what inspires me. I'm crystal clear on the example that I want to be. I'm crystal clear on where it is that I want to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. I spent a lot of time thinking about it. And that plan always changes. But getting that plan crystal clear up front is the biggest life-changing thing. I see people, by the way, that have challenges in business that happen. The adversity that they face in business happens because of their lack of clarity on what it is that they want and what inspires them. And so what happens when you're unclear? The people around you get unclear. And when people around you are unclear, crazy things happen, right? People that you're loyal to leave you. Or worse yet, people that you're loyal to don't leave you and destroy what you're trying to build from the inside out. But when you're clear on what inspires you, you're clear on your vision, you're clear on the mission of what you're trying to accomplish, everything gets so much clearer. We had somebody new start in our office yesterday in Pittsburgh, and I got the opportunity to talk to her and tell her the story of, how our company started and what it looks like and how many people were here just a few years ago and now how many people we have on our team now. And it was awesome, man, to relight that fire of like, what truly inspires me, man. That's what inspires me. The opportunity to have some of the best people in the world on our team and to build a place that is the example for other people. Are we perfect? Far from it, man. But we try really hard, man. And that effort, that alignment, that vision, that mission, the values that we operate with, how we treat each other, how we don't treat each other. Those are the things that should inspire you to continue to grow. For me, the greatest inspiration in my life is how my children view me. If I can gain their approval and I can provide them a life that I'm proud of, I will have felt like the mission has been accomplished. And at the end of the day, if your actions every single day, if what you do every day doesn't line up with those things, with that inspiration, that true fire inside of you that gets you going, that keeps you focused, that keeps you growing, and also motivates people around you to keep going. If it's not in alignment, then you haven't figured it out yet. So I challenge you guys this morning to think about that. What does it look like to figure it out? What does it look like when you actually figure it out? How different is your life today compared to when you figure this out, and that is how you get to show up for people every day? Because when you figure it out, man, life changes in an instant. It doesn't feel like work anymore. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be easier. Easier to keep going. Easier to face adversity. Easier to focus on the long-term vision and realize that the problems you face day to day are very small in comparison. That's it. We can get lost in our problems every day, guys. If I went through the list of things that I dealt with yesterday, it would overwhelm a lot of people. But in my world, the mission is much bigger. In my vision, the mission is much bigger. And so those things are very small in comparison to the motivation and inspiration that I have to be able to continue to create and to create alongside people that I absolutely love working with. That's the key. Are you going to love working with everybody every single day? Absolutely not. You're not human if you do, if that's what you think. Or you're just not doing much if everybody gets along and there's no issues. You're probably not pushing hard enough. But figuring out what it is that inspires you is one of the secrets to life. Because when you get it and when you figure it out and you dial it in, everything changes. You'll never have to seek again for that motivation or inspiration that you used to need to plug into. Your own life becomes the inspiration. Those people around you that you interact with every day become the inspiration. What you want for your children, when I close my eyes and think about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish so that I can do things with my children, and I know what those things are, and I know the list, and I know what it'll feel like when it happens, I don't need anybody else's help to get motivated. Everything I need is right inside of me, and it's also inside of you. But you got to figure out what it is. You got to light it on fire. That's the key. I hope this was helpful this morning, guys. I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Man, I truly, I say this every day, but I truly love you guys for showing up here, man. And, you're not just showing up here for yourself. You're showing up here for other people, for those people that you work alongside, for your family, for yourself, for other people that you don't even know you will be able to impact from collecting information, whether it's here, somewhere else, reading books, listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, whatever it may be. The more educated you are, the better you will make this world. And so I say it every day, man, but I genuinely, there's a reason why I say it. I love you guys for being here. I love you guys for listening. I love you guys for what you do for yourselves and for the people around you by showing up here. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.